This week on Driven, two cars vying for the title of the best car in the world, tested to the limit.
And the British opposition, the brand new Range Rover, extreme off-roading in style.
Plus the first spy shots of the ultimate supercar, Mercedes McLaren-built SLR.
The Mercedes S-Class and the BMW 7 Series are the creme de la creme. They ooze sophistication and quality, as you'd expect from Germany's finest. But both cars want to be #1 in the world. The Mercedes has held the crown for 4 years, but is this young pretender about to snatch it away?
How much better does it really get than the Mercedes S-Class? Its stylish, subtle looks disguise cutting-edge technology. This is the car of choice for captains of industry and diplomats alike. The last time we tested the big Merc on Driven, it came up against Jaguar's XJ Saloon and the Lexus LS430, and very quickly became our favourite luxury saloon.
But BMW have other ideas. They think the S-Class is a bit too soft. With its unconventional looks, this new 7 Series wants to challenge the luxury car order. So let the battle begin. To take the title of best car in the world and to justify their price tags, these cars not only have to be good at wafting you around in comfort, but they also need to be great to drive. These are big cars and are stuffed full of electronic gizmos to keep them on the straight and narrow. To see if all this technology is up to the job, we're going to be pushing them to the limit.
Now, me and Jason have got into trouble, yet again, and we've got to get out of the country fast. We've got a plane waiting on the runway, but between us and a clean getaway lies this grueling course, which will test our car's acceleration, brakes and handling.
To keep the pressure on, racing driver Amanda Stretton is going to be chasing it in this Lexus GS430. Now, it's not a direct competitor, but it's just as powerful, so should keep up. And judging by Amanda's driving in ASCAR, the European equivalent of America's famous NASCAR championship, we've got a real race on our hands.
Now this car has got this very fancy iDrive system where I can switch traction control off and switch the comfort mode of the car or the suspension settings of the car from comfort over to sports. Well, now we've got the car set up, Jace, for its fastest mode. Let's get on with it. Go.
Amanda's in pursuit in the Lexus, just 5 seconds behind.
I don't know how good these two are going to be at getaway drivers. They spent so much time playing with their gadgets. Let's see if I can catch up. They both do 0 to 60 in about 6.3 seconds, but I should be a little bit nimbler.
Has a top speed this car of a limited 155 miles an hour over the speed up. Watch this one.
I'll tell you what, it's a tight old course and it feels big, but it's got great throttle response, got a super old engine, and it is fairly nimble, I must admit.
No.
What? Dead end.
Where are you going to go?
Reverse. Engage your gear. Press on the brake.
Go. She's going to get just really quickly out of here and then hard left. One of the things that happens in sports mode is not only does it change the suspension settings of the car, but it also puts more weight into the steering to make the steering a bit more direct. I would imagine she's not going to be too far behind this, Jason.
No, I reckon we've got the best of it.
This is where we'd like to do a handbrake turn, but this car doesn't have a traditional handbrake, so we're having to rely on steering inputs. And we're miles in front of her. Into the aircraft hangar. Mind the road surface change here. Sideways through the hangar. That's pretty cool. Whoa! Now, this is where this car shows its true colours. Go thump your foot down, Jace, and you'll hear this V8 engine. Listen.
Purr along.
Come on, song, and get us to our destination on time. And I reckon we're easy. 10 seconds in front of her. Come on, go!
The BMW has extended its lead by another 5 seconds, and we make our getaway. Better luck next time, Amanda.
Right, Jason and Mike have now got the Mercedes S500 to play with and see if they can get away. It's definitely a bigger car than the BMW and not quite as good looking either. I actually prefer the BMW.
We've got less toys in here. We haven't got that big knob to play with, which is quite a relief, Mike. But what we do have is traditional buttons. We've got ESP, traction control, blah, blah, blah. We can turn that off, which we're going to do. And we've also got adaptive damping control. where we've got it on the stiffest setting, which is Sport at the moment. So that'll stiffen the car, make it a little bit more dynamic to drive.
You ready?
Yep.
Nail it. Now, this car, although it weighs nearly 2 tonne, 1,800 kilograms, it will still get from 0 to 60 in an astonishing 6.5 seconds. It's incredibly
I tell you what.
Oh, I just saw Jason getting that little lady very sideways.
I'm not comfy. I'm sliding about in the seats.
Yeah, the
all
seat
over
doesn't
the
grip
place.
you, does it, like in the
There's no
BMW?
support.
Lots more wallowing around on the body. It's nowhere near as sporty or as dynamic as the BMW. Right, we've come to a dead end again. Now, this car is a little bit down on power. Little bit down on power as opposed to the BMW. It's got 306 brake horsepower, but still has a limited top speed of 155 miles an hour, so it's pretty quick enough.
Oh, the Japanese have still got a thing or two to learn from the Germans, I think. Oh, but look how early Jason's having to brake for this corner.
It feels more like an old bus, do you know what I mean?
It does. You can
So
really
it's
slide it
like-
around. Way!
Hello, old tiger.
Excellent stuff, eh, Jace? It's good, isn't it? You can really power it down this car, can't you? Out we go, sideways onto the runway, and full throttle action, up to the aeroplane, ready for a quick getaway. Brakes, Jace.
Stop, you devil.
Brake tank is good. Let's go.
go.
Way!
The Merc, let down by a softer ride, only just manages to keep ahead of the chasing Lexus. So the BMW 7 Series leaves the competition behind.
Okay, let's face it, few of us actually have 50 grand to go and blow on a luxury car, but don't despair because luxury cars all suffer with one major problem, and that's depreciation. As they roll out the showroom, they lose about 20% of their value in the first year and then about the same again every year after. So after a few years, even the most well-engineered, well-constructed, and most luxurious cars are available to the likes of me and you second-hand at a fraction of their original cost. Now, I've made a choice selection of 3 great buys for 5, 10 and 15 grand. Now, first out the hat is the Mercedes S-Class. Now, one of the original criticisms levied against this car is that it was over-engineered. Basically, Mercedes had spent too much time and money getting the thing running right, and they missed out on some of the aesthetic things, like panel gaps and the quality of the materials inside. But what you did get for your money was a solidly built, reliable car with some great extras. Inside, you got climate control, double glazing, and these fantastically lazy self-closing doors. So how much do they cost? Well, back in 1997, this monster would have set you back £59,000. But you don't need to spend that today, because today you can buy one of these for as little as £15,000. Surprisingly, on a well-kept Merc, servicing and parts should cost no more than for a full Mondeo. The old girl's only got 48,000 miles on the clock, and she'll easily do another 150,000 miles if you look after her. So if the Merc isn't your style, then at the other end of our price range is the BMW 7 Series for no more the cost of a Nissan Micra. Now, it's got similar extras to the Merc, but the BMW has a reputation for being a driver's car. Now, 10 years ago, this sucker would have set you back £42,000. But today, you can forget that, because you can buy one of these for less than 5 grand. Even with 130,000 miles on the clock, these cars have almost legendary build quality. But beware, at 150,000 miles, this car will need a major service that will cost at least 2 grand. But this should put everything right for at least another 100,000 miles. But my pick of the bunch is priced right between these two German bruisers, and it's a piece of British motoring heritage. No, it's not a Bentley or a Roller, it's this, a Jaguar XJ6 3.2. It packs all the refinements you'd expect in this class, and it's got bags of style and sporty handling. Now, 4 years ago, this baby would have cost you £36,000, but you can forget that, because today you can buy one of these, believe it or not, for under £10,000. If a Jag has been looked after well, there's no downside. It costs about the same as the others to insure and run, and servicing costs with an independent specialist, not a main dealer, won't set you back any more than a Vauxhall Vectra.
We never seem to find peace.
driving this Jaguar with nearly 60,000 miles on the clock, I reckon it's got better with age. It's a bit like sitting inside your grand's big favourite comfy chair. That's because of the yards of luxurious leather and wood panelling. But you know the best thing? It's the quietness of the ride. No longer do I feel like a lunatic wanting to overtake everyone. I just want to sit back and relax and smooth myself along and grease from one destination to the next. Oh, I sound all oily, don't I? So the next time you look at your company car list, what box you're going to tick? Are you going to go for a Vauxhall Vectra or be brave and drive around in opulent luxury in a Jaguar?
If you're interested in buying a super saloon for super mini money, then log on to 4car.co.uk for our second-hand buying guide. Tonight's ultimate car is the McLaren-built Mercedes SLR, snapped during top-secret cold weather testing in the Arctic Circle. Despite their best efforts to disguise them with tape, our shots confirm that the SLR is going to have gull-wing doors just like the 1950s 300 SL. Only 500 cars will be built a year, and the price to pay for such exclusivity, around £250,000. The SLR aims to be the fastest road car on the planet, capable of well over 200 miles an hour. The car's launch is scheduled for early 2003, so order now to avoid disappointment.
After the break, we head to the country to find a luxury liner that's as happy as a pig in some mud.
Range Rover invented the posh off-roader 30 years ago. Competition has hotted up, but Land Rover, now owned by Ford, intend this to be not only the best off-roader in the world, but an entirely credible luxury car too. So, can the Range Rover take on our Merc and BMW?
It looks like the original Range Rover, only it's bigger. In fact, it's enormous. It's the biggest four-wheel drive on sale in the UK.
Why so big? Well, it's simple. It has to deliver in the American market, and that extra size translates to the cabin.
This is one of the biggest cars I've ever sat in. It is just enormous. It's a Leviathan. The seat, well, it's like an armchair. In fact, it's like a throne. I feel like I'm sat looking down at my kingdom. Through the corners, well, it's a lot better than the old one, but then again, that was a blancmange. The way to describe this drive is smooth. The 4.4 litre V8 just gets on with it quietly. And as for the 5-speed automatic gearbox, well, stone me if I ever notice it change.
The car is built to BMW standards. After all, they used to own Range Rover. It's exceptionally robust with wood, sumptuous leather and switchgear that's been engineered with excessive zeal.
The interior truly is luxurious, and I reckon it rivals the very best.
Impressive on the road? Well, that's only half the story.
Off-road, this car is absolutely mega. It's got all the fancy doodads you could possibly need, and then some.
New to the Range Rover is all-round independent suspension to plant the wheels down even at the most extreme angles. Not only is it happy to get its feet muddy at the weekend, it's also happy to get them wet, and that's thanks to height-adjustable air suspension. A computer-controlled pump varies the height and reaction over extreme surfaces.
I'm speechless really, because we're in the middle of a river. And it's nearly up to the door handles. In fact, if I go any quicker, it's going to come in over the top of the window.
Extra low ratio gears and descent control automatically slows the vehicle to a crawl on steep, slippery slopes.
The cutting-edge four-wheel drive system will get you through rivers, mud swamps, and that hideous off-road arena, Kensington.
But it's not all good news. All that extra size means extra weight. This Range Rover is as heavy as 2 Ford Mondeos, and where there's fat, there's food, and crikey does this thing drink. It does a staggering 12 miles per gallon around town, enough to give any environmentalist indigestion. That's enough of the mucky stuff. Time for a wash and brush up.
I'm not going to discuss all that stuff about people who buy these, never take them off-road. We know all that. That's not the point. It's all about status. But should you be foolish enough to take this on the rough stuff, then this car is perfect. As a luxury car, well, it's actually very good. But it wouldn't tempt me out of an S-Class. But then again, it's just not my cup of tea. But what I will say is this is arguably the best four-wheel drive in the world.
If you want to know more about the Range Rover or any of the other cars featured on the show, check out 4car.co.uk. Right, that's enough of the countryside. Time to continue with our group test. BMW's new 7 Series versus Mercedes S-Class. If you're in the market for one of these, chances are you've already made it. You've probably got your own private car parking space outside your flash offices. And why not? After all, you do own the company.
These cars say quality, they say dependability. In fact, they say I'm at the top of the pile.
That's what we think, but what this lot think is more important. Meet the tycoons of the future, students from the London Business School. Right, you lot, the Mercedes-Benz. Tell us what you think.
It looks like it's got some class, it's got some status, but it isn't looking flashy or overly expensive or showing off unnecessarily.
It's looking the same as Mercedes always have, which is nice, but it's not very future-looking.
Would you want this car?
This car has an age impression going along with it, and I don't want to be seen in this car. Definitely no. It's
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very large car seen from the outside. And once you sit in the back with 3 adults, actually you're surprisingly a bit cramped.
The position of the pedals, and we're actually driving it, the position of the pedals is really nice, and everything does feel like it falls into place, but the interior is just a little bit disappointing for Mercedes.
You strike me as a man who likes a gadget.
I do.
Right, see, as long as you've got this in your wallet, you don't need a key for the car.
Right.
Touch the top of the gear knob.
Oh, very flash.
It's not looking too good for the Merc, but will the BMW light their fire?
It's not nice.
Why?
It's too bulgy. It's like this bit here. It's wrong. It's too bulbous. It's just not as smooth as a BMW should be. From the back wheel forwards, it's a lovely looking car.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I think it's distinctive. I like it. It's a statement. It's not like every other car, every other BMW you see on the road.
I'm dead lazy and I like this. Got a button here. Okay, that's not that flash, is it? That's right, but this is. Right.
Oh, very flash. Excellent.
But, you know, there's loads of room in here compared with the Merc, do you not think?
Yeah, it's pretty good in the back.
How about you in the driver's seat there?
I like the seats. They're really comfortable, and this footrest thing is really nice because it doesn't sort of stretch my ankle.
Being top business students, I'm sure they're computer literate, but how will they get on with the mouse-like device that BMW call their iDrive?
This navigates through more or less everything in the car. You've got settings for climate control, entertainment.
Have it warm itself up in the morning at 7 o'clock, warm the seats, warm the engine.
Does the whole lot for you. Just fiddle around with it. So twisting gets you up and down the menus. Yeah. If you want to go to entertainment, you bang down, tap it downwards towards the back of the car.
Yeah.
So is it fiddly?
There's a lot of menus to look through, and I don't think I'd be able to do this.
No?
I'm still on onboard data. I can't get to entertainment.
They've had a good look around, so now it's decision time.
Right then, you lot, go and stand by the car you most want. Well, that'll be nothing for the Mercedes. How many, Jace?
Oh, I don't know, mate, everybody.
So there you have it, tycoons of the future would rather buy a Beamer.
As we saw earlier, our group test cars are really quite a good drive. But there are times when it's all a bit too much effort and far simpler to employ a man to do the hard work for you. Now, to welcome Amanda to the show, I've invited her out for dinner, and Mike has kindly agreed to chauffeur us there.
Now, to find out which of our group test cars offers the most relaxing ride, I want to find out which of the two offers the most uncomfortable ride. So on the way to the restaurant, I've cheekily laid out a savage obstacle course of speed humps. Jason's going to be pouring champagne, and that Amanda one, she still hasn't put her makeup on. Most cars would give you a real sore bum if you went over these bumps too fast, so we're going to hit them at a terrifying 25 miles an hour. Now, what I've done with this car is I've set it up, the suspension, on comfort mode, so it should be nice and relaxing over these speed humps.
Brewer?
I'm sorry.
Now listen, I've got lipstick to put on now, so just take it easy.
What's it like in the back there?
I tell you what, it's very, very comfortable. The seats are great. I've got loads and loads of room. This big armrest is great. In fact, it's a bit of a table. That's quite nice.
Amanda. Putting makeup on in the back.
Well,
is it a struggle?
It is a little bit of a struggle, yes.
I mean, sitting in the front here, you can feel the sort of boom, you know, it jumps over.
Well, yeah, it's good for the bubbles. Bubbles are going everywhere. In fact, I reckon this champagne's going to be flat in a minute.
Compared to most cars, the 7 Series is really composed and smooth. So for once, Jason handled his booze. As for Amanda, let's see how the Mercedes S-Class gets on.
Now, what I've done with this car is I've set it on the softest suspension setting like the BMW. How's your lippy looking, Amanda?
Well, it's fractionally better than the BMW, I have to say.
Right, over at the first of our...
Oh, hello.
No, it's...
Well, I've not spilled any fizz yet. I'm best try having a bit of a drink first, though.
Fractionally better. It's actually easy to get into as well, this car.
Tell you what, though, there's not the same amount of legroom under the seat. Do you know what I mean? I keep catching my feet under the seat mechanism in front.
It's actually worse when you've got heels on as well, because your feet are raised.
But is it a nicer car to be in the back of?
Yeah, I think so. It is marginally softer over these bumps.
It is, yeah, I agree with you. But the ride at higher speeds is definitely better in the BMW.
You know, I'm not used to having a driver as opinionated as he is.
No, sorry about that, I'll keep your mouth shut. Anyway, we're at the restaurant now, so I'll pull in the car park. What time would you like me to pick you both up?
We'll ring your drive.
Jason got his drink, but will Amanda be the belle of the ball this time around? Let's scientifically compare with our lipstickometer. Well, the Merc takes the honours in this test, but how will it compare overall?
It's fair to say that driving around that little obstacle course was slightly dangerous, very challenging.
The Merc was great fun because it didn't have as many tricks, it was less composed, you could get the tail out, but in terms of a drive, the BM was the best.
Yeah, the BMW definitely looked like it had a lot more stability than the Mercedes, which rolled a lot.
Right, now as for our little ride quality test, what do we think was the best car there?
I think it was definitely the Mercedes. They both sort of had equal bump, if you like, when you went over the humps. But that settled a lot quicker than the BMW did.
I thought the BM was better in the back in terms of comfort. More room, a bit more leg room, more room under the seats. But yeah, you know, less lippy, less champagne all over the place in the Merc. But there wasn't a lot in it.
Right, now desirability.
Stop there. we know exactly what happened there.
Yeah, but do we agree with that? I mean, it's fair to say that the Beamer is a stunning-looking car, but the Mercedes isn't a bad-looking old bus, is it?
They were all young.
Yeah, I think when you're 45, you'd be going for the Mercedes.
Now, we need to decide on what car we think is best for this week's group test. Which one? Amanda?
BMW.
BMW for you.
I'm going to go for the BMW. What are you going to go for?
Well, there's no tugging at heartstrings, Chase, because I'm old enough to drive one of these.
Well, I was just going to say,
I'm still going to go for the BMW. I think it's a cracking car.
I'll tell you what, you tidy up here. We're going to go and get some food. We'll see you in a minute.
Off you go. So there you have it. While I wait for these two to come out, it's quite obvious that the BMW is this week's winner. It looks like they have leapfrogged Mercedes in the luxury saloon car sector. We'll see you next week. Hope they ain't long.
Next week on Driven, we're looking for performance on a budget. We're giving two teams £2,000 to buy a car at auction and turn it into a racing car. We'll put them head to head with our favourite hot hatch, the Civic Type R, to see if our cut price bangers have what it takes to be the fastest.